Hello and welcome to today's episode of Essential Words. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg and I'm thrilled you're here. Really, thank you so much for taking the time to spend a little bit of your day with me. Today, I'm thinking about leaps of faith. What do I mean when I say that? Well, last night I was talking to one of my coaching clients and I said the following. I said, every step you take is a leap of faith that the ground will be there to meet you. Now, thinking back on it, you go, really? But bear with me here for a second. As a grown person or even as someone who just knows how to walk, you're good to go, right? You know how to do it, you're ready to go, you rock it, you move, you don't even think about it. At the same time, if we were to think back about when we were kids, we'd have a very different perspective. When we were just learning how to walk, it was very unstable. Every step was like, okay, can I do this? Is the ground going to be solid? What's going to happen? Because you're used to crawling, for example, but you simply may not be used to walking. So you've got to take all sorts of precautions. You grab onto the couch, you grab onto the skirt or pants or of whoever happens to be more stable than you are in the moment, right? So there are lots of different ways that you give yourself help, but eventually you have to take that leap of faith and you have to take the step by yourself. When I was in college, I took a movement class, a theater movement class, and in this class, they were talking to us about doing this very difficult exercise. And they wanted us to take 5 minutes to do it. And they described each and everything we had to do. And by the time the 5 minutes were over, what we had achieved was taking one step. That's it. We had to go through all of the processes of taking a single step, but it couldn't be done immediately. It couldn't be done in a half a second like you would if you're just walking. We had to literally take 5 minutes to get it done. You don't think when you're doing a walk from one end of the room to the other exactly how many different physical processes take place in order for you to be able to do that. Your piriformis muscle gets in the act, your iliopsoas muscles get into the act, obviously your knees, your abdominals, your spine, the intent to walk from your brain, all of that is part and parcel of having to take that step. And yet, here we are, thinking about walking as an adventure, as a leap of faith. But it is one. And when I say you're going to have to take the leap of faith that the ground will be there to meet you, it means to me that you have to think that as you're on your path, that the way will be solid, right? So if we're going to be talking about a leap of faith about your life purpose, it's the same. Will I know the path to walk as I'm trying to work on the best way for me to move forward, if you see what I mean? So every single thing you do ends up being some sort of a leap of faith. If I go A instead of B, I'm taking a leap of faith that A is the best way to go. If I step to the right versus to the left, I'm taking that same kind of leap of faith. And if you don't believe me that a step when you're walking is a leap of faith, remember to the last time you were walking down the stairs and you thought you'd come down to the bottom, but there was one more step. You know what I'm talking about? That moment, that instant where you think you're on solid ground, but there's nothing there. It's not like Wile E. Coyote from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. You don't hang in the air for that long to realize it. It just sort of happens and down you go. And you stumble. Why? Because you, in your subconscious and conscious mind, had the idea that there was solid ground below you. You took the leap of faith that it was there, but you know what? It wasn't. And it caused you to stumble. So each time you make any sort of step, a decision, a choice, A versus B, yes versus no, stay versus go, right versus wrong, whatever it is, you're taking a leap of faith. You're leaping into the unknown and making the decision that this must be the right path. And if it isn't the right path, you're going to give yourself the opportunity to address the situation. And that takes you into another whole direction of leaps of faiths. It's fascinating, isn't it, when you think about what your mindset has to be in order to be an adventurer in life. You have to be willing to walk forward. That's it. You have to be willing to walk forward. I hope you've enjoyed today's Essential Words episode. I'm super glad I got to talk about this because it's been sitting in my mind and came up during my morning meditation from last night. And I really needed to make sure that I told it to you, because today, as you move forward, remember each step is a leap of faith, and it brings you closer to your life's purpose.